Well, hello everyone. I hope you're having a great day today. Welcome to Thursday's edition of Take 5. We're dealing with the subject we've called entitlement, the enemy of excellence. And we know that's a fact because anything that you feel like you're entitled to, you are not going to put in the effort to serve, to work, or to live with excellence and diligence. If you feel like you're owed something, or that you deserve something, let's just face it, you're really not going to work hard to earn it. And so that's why we've entitled this message as it is. I really do believe that this idea of entitlement, it's the enemy of excellence and promotion and everything else that God wants to bring into your life. Now, there are 5 areas in your life that God wants you to excel. We know 3 John 2 says, Beloved, I want you to prosper in all things and be in good health. We know the Bible says that. And these 5 areas are common, everyday areas that deal with the physical and with the spiritual. These 5 areas are our personal level, a relational level, vocational level, moral, and spiritual. Those 5 areas, God wants us to excel in them. But the thing is we are entitled to success in none of them unless we are willing to put in the work and the effort of excellence that can bring us favor in all of them. Understand something. When you begin to talk about succeeding vocationally and relationally and personally and morally and spiritually, when you begin to talk about success in all of those areas, you need to remember that the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. Work always has to come first. Excellence always has to come first. So what I want to do today and tomorrow is give you some characteristics of this entitled culture and the mindset that they have. So there are about 4 of them. So we'll knock out maybe 2 or 3 today. I don't know. We'll just see how far we can get with the time that we have. Here we go. Number 1, entitled people focus more on what they think they are owed than what they contribute. Now, listen to that. Entitled people focus more on what they think they are owed than what they actually contribute. People who feel entitled take for granted what they have and they keep asking and expecting more. And the more they get, the more they tend to expect. The mindset of culture today is a you owe me attitude where people believe that society or a company or a government or a church owes them something and they don't have to earn or deliver value for what they receive. These people believe they're owed something because of who they are, perhaps the gender they are, the education they have, how long they've been there, what class of society they belong to, or what they've been through, not necessarily because of what they are willing to earn, because their focus is on more of what they are owed than what they contribute. Number 2, entitled people constantly murmur and complain. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of that going on today, and it's entitled people that do this. Murmuring and complaining is born out of what people feel entitled to. As a matter of fact, usually whatever someone complains about, that's what they feel like they deserve. They feel like they're entitled to it, and that's why they complain. You know, the Israelites adopted this mindset while they were in Egypt. Despite their sufferings, they became accustomed to what they enjoyed there while in slavery. And when they were enslaved, they cried out to God for help. And after a series of plagues, you know the story. If not, go to the book of Exodus. You can read all about it. After a series of plagues, God delivered them from their captivity. However, even with their newly acquired freedom, they still complained about what they lacked because entitled people murmur and complain, right? Let me read from Exodus and then Numbers. This really kind of sets the scene. The Bible said the whole community of Israelites began complaining. They complained to Moses and Aaron in the desert. They said it would have been better if the Lord would have just killed us. Now listen to this mindset. This is crazy. It would have been better if the Lord would have just killed us in the land of Egypt. At least there we had plenty to eat. We had all the food we needed, but now you've brought us out here into this desert to make us all die from hunger. Man, think of that mindset. They feel entitled to all of that stuff that they had while they were in slavery. Now, that's the dumb thing. Numbers 4 or chapter 11 verse 4 says the foreigners that joined the Israelites, because there were some foreigners that came out of, some of the Egyptians came out of Egypt with the Israelites there. They began wanting other things to eat. Soon all the Israelites began complaining again, and the people said, "We want meat. We remember the fish that we ate in Egypt. That fish cost us nothing." There it is right there. They want something for free. They don't want to have to endure anything, put up with anything. They don't want to have to do anything with diligence. They want something for free. Even if it's in slavery, they want something for free. We also had good vegetables like cucumbers and melons and chives and onions and garlic. But now we've lost our strength. We never eat anything, only this manna. Now imagine, if you will, God is causing this manna to rain down from heaven. The book of Psalms, I believe it is, calls it angels' food. God is causing this to rain down, so these people, all they have to do is go out every day and gather it. And they are complaining because they don't have meat. They remembered what they had eaten for free while they were in Egypt, but they conveniently forgot that great price that they paid with slavery and oppression for this quote unquote free food that they got, and they thought they were entitled to it even out here in the desert. And God got a little agitated with them. If you go on down in Numbers chapter 11, God said, "You know what, Moses, I'm going to give them meat. I'm going to give them meat till it runs out their nose." God has had it up to here with these complaining and murmuring and entitled Israelites, and he's going to give them meat. The Bible said that he caused quail to come in there. He blew them in by south wind, I believe it was. And it appears that those quail were about 3 foot deep there in all of the people. They gathered it up. They began to dry it and prepare it. And the Bible said God was so frustrated with them while that meat was in their mouth. God caused it to spoil and made them sick. And many of them died because they complained, because entitled people always murmur and complain. What do you say, friend? Let's make the decision today that we're not going to focus on what we are owed. Instead, our mindset is going to be about what we can contribute. And what do you say? Let's don't murmur and complain. Let's be thankful for what God has given us, and let's overcome this entitled mentality. Well, hey, I've got to get out of here. It's been good being with you today. I look forward to being with you tomorrow on Friday's edition of Take 5. Till then, God bless you. Have a great day. Remember, trust the Lord, my friend. He will never fail you.